Thank you for watching Poetry in Motion with your host, D. Freeman.
Black history, Juneteenth history, our history. We celebrate successes we've made, which are dear to me, hopefully to you. We celebrate our achievements because over the years, celebrating and acknowledging have become the right things to do. We celebrate our movement beyond the noted date of emancipation. We celebrate wholehearted love, brotherhood, common purpose, and cooperative participation. We show appreciation for the brave souls who sacrificed and fulfilled a covenant to move forward, never to relive that despicable past. We celebrate a time ancestors vowed to shake chains from body, mind, and soul with a unique strength only they could toughen up to everlast. We honor an awesome people who bent to the lash, who shouldered heavy burdens, who birthed auction block babies, yet survived years of demoralization, torture, and hatred, and were never spoken to as they should have been men or ladies. We commemorate them because their strength has seeped past bitterness and resentment and flowed through the years to fill us today with desires of hope, growth, and empowerment, though not yet contentment. We do not shed bitter tears of sorrow, nor have a pity party, nor dwell upon the vengeance to erase embedded deceit, envy, and strife. We celebrate a united people as community, as one empowered to commemorate the lasting freedom from that evil and that horrendous way of life. We will gather soon under the same sun, moon, and stars, with ideas, desires, goals, and excitement as did courageous folk of years ago. We will uplift ourselves from ditches to straighten our bent backs, though this process shows successes are many times and often too slow. We will raise our lowered eyes, condemning shameful servitude. We will raise our attitudes to new levels of dedication and participation. With excitement, we will lift up our spirits to untold heights of hope, courage, pride, and determination. We celebrate brotherhood, sisterhood, celebrate life and love, celebrate health and wealth, liberty and prosperity, wisdom, and mostly truth and freedom. We celebrate because we now elevate and communicate to the world upon a new level that really begun, and somehow, some way, it shows our pride and our enthusiasm, and it'll show just how far we as a united people, through the grace of God, just how far we have truly come. And that be a long way, baby. Our history shows we've come a long way. Our history helps to keep us on track because, hey, I don't plan to ever go back.
All right. All right.
Beyond emancipation. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
How are you?
Awesome. In fact, I am so motivated now. After that, you need to take bits and pieces of that. So some of us can quote those quotes every single day to start off a day. Food for thought.
Food for thought.
Food for thought. How are you, dude?
How are you,
Blessed.
Mr.
Thank
McFadden?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Welcome.
By the grace of God.
All right,
Thanks
all
for
right.
having me.
The voice that everybody knows. Say something.
Oh, girl, if you only knew what I had to go through when I was 4'9" and sounded like that. I appreciate it now.
4'9" and
4'9".
sounded like that.
Yeah, I was really good at waving. People,
Because people would stop and look and say, "What's the matter?"
they look and say, "Excuse me, does it hurt when you talk?" You really talk like that? Wow. So
Is
did
that
you know
right?
that your voice was deep?
Oh,
But God is good. God is good.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, but now it's a trademark, and everybody
why get a real job?
tries to imitate your voice.
Well, I can't wait till I can get out to California and say things like, "This is CNN," and get the dollars that James Earl Jones gets for saying, "Look, my time will come."
All
I spend
right.
time raising my kids.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, you seem to be a jack of all trades, and at least many trades. What is your secret for doing so well and achieving what you set out to do, sir?
Wow. By the grace of God, first and foremost. And if I were to really think about that, I have to say that with all the things that I've done in Lansing, with the TV and the radio and entertainment stuff, the Lord helped me see something that was embedded in me and I didn't know was there. My grandmother, Esther McFadden, active in the community.
Okay.
So she kind of laid the groundwork. In fact, I remember many people when I was in the TV business said, if I was half the person that my grandmother was, that I'd be all right.
Okay.
I take that. I remember many days I would call when I was working at Channel 6, and she'd answer the phone. I said, "Hi, Granny." She said, "What you want, boy?" I said, "Just want to say thank you." She said, "What you talking about?" I want to say thank you for opening up the doors that she did and for teaching me the things she taught me.
Okay.
One of the most important things was, if you really, really want to make yourself happy, make somebody else happy.
All right.
That was like our family credo, and it makes sense. So I began to realize it wasn't about being the best news reporter or the best broadcaster, but my role was to bring people out of the house. Bring them back to what things were like when we were younger, for those of us who grew up in Lansing. When the budgets were good, Parks and Recreation did a fantastic job of providing recreation for the family.
Okay.
Which brought us out of our house,
Right.
which helped us get to know our neighbors, which helped us build strong
Build
neighborhoods, which
Community.
helped us to trust and develop social skills.
Okay.
And that's what we try to do with the different festivals that I'm blessed to be able to be a part of, with the parades and activities like the Juneteenth and other activities. The whole approach is to create a relationship between corporate America and consumers and make people happy about getting out and socializing.
Okay.
And if you can educate them in the process, voila.
Voila.
So that's that's what God gave me. And plus, by the grace of God, just having that desire to give back to the community
That's wonderful.
and enjoy it.
That's wonderful.
So-
That's wonderful.
And you call that a job.
Yeah. Since you enjoy it so much, it doesn't feel
No,
like
it doesn't
a
feel
job.
like a job.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're so well known in the community, and of course you do give back, and that's got to be a blessing and got to make you feel good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You do as well. So there's a lot of us doing it. And I think the timing is right. I mean, if you think about it, 10, 15 years ago, you didn't see a lot of commercials or promos on the local TV stations about community festivals. Now you hear about it in Mason, you hear about it in DeWitt. They're doing it in all outlying areas. And it's just good to know that, we were part of that crew that got it started.
Okay.
Lit that flame. So you build a strong community, you build a strong neighborhood, you build a better city, you build a better state.
All right.
So that's what we're trying to do.
All right.
All right.
Pure mission. Okay, you've been working with this particular
The
celebration.
Juneteenth celebration.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
20 years here
20
in
years.
Lansing.
Okay.
As the
so,
Lansing
so
Juneteenth.
what year is that? I know
Okay.
I've got a question about
Good,
that.
good. I'd like to clarify. Now,
okay.
the Lansing Juneteenth celebration, this is our 20th year
This is the 20th year
for the
right
Lansing
here.
Juneteenth celebration. For 9 years, we've been blessed to be in conjunction with the state of Michigan, where we're a state holiday.
9
So that's
years?
9 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe that 9 years. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
And so we get the support from the lawmakers, and that's how everything starts off on Thursday. Thursday, we call it the Capitol Kickoff. We're in the state capitol, again, getting recognition and acknowledgement from our senators and our state reps. I mean, both the House and the Senate actively involved in supporting the Juneteenth Freedom Day. Then in the evening, starting at 5:30, we're at City Hall.
At City Hall.
Yep, City Hall, where we have our local officials, the mayor, city council, and their support. So it's great to be supported with the state and the city.
Right.
And we have a very special guest. Don't mind my help with my glasses. I need them. Keynote speaker is Dr. Robert Broomfield.
Okay.
And we'll have activities from 5:30 to 7:30 in the lobby of Lansing City Hall. Free, open to the public, encouraging everyone to come out.
Okay.
And that's what kicks things off on Thursday. It's a 3-day event, but 2 days outdoors at the park, at St. Joe Park.
It's St. Joe Park.
St. Joe, one of Lansing's most beautiful pieces of property that, for those of us with some ethnicity, that's where we all hung out way back when we were kids.
Because it's
beautiful
right
neighborhood.
adjacent to
Sexton High School, yeah.
Yes.
And I'm just in that neighborhood where, you've got access to it, but there's just such a big, beautiful piece of land. And that activity Friday is highlighted. We've always highlighted with the recreation of the Negro Baseball League,
Yes.
the softball.
Yes.
And this year we're doing something a little different.
No softball?
Oh, no, softball's going to be done. I didn't want to take that away. I'm glad you asked that question. We're doing the softball. In addition to,
okay, all
we
right.
call it Hip Hop Friday.
Hip Hop Friday.
Oh, girl, I can't say that I understand all the music, but let's be real and honest. If we're dealing with history, it's so important that we tie in with our young generation to raise their awareness. We don't want to just drill them with all of the old traditional approach to your history, all the negative things that happened. We're focusing on what's going on now and where we've come from.
Where we've come from.
And when you know where you come from,
hey,
you know where I'm going.
Hey,
it's easy to look forward to where you're going to go.
Yes.
And we want to.
And it keeps you from going
backwards.
Exactly.
We got a group from the Mid-Michigan area called Hip Hop Society. They're actually called Crucial Creations.
Crucial.
Male and female. There's about 20, 25 young adults that's going to teach us old folks a little bit about hip hop.
Okay. I need to.
Oh, yeah.
And Crucial.
They're called Crucial Creations.
Okay.
And a group called All of the Above, part of the Hip Hop Academy. So we're going to get some hip hop education while we share the education of the Juneteenth. So it's an opportunity for all of us to learn something on that Friday.
Okay.
And that's what's happening. So,
and what time does that
So we're looking at hip hop
start?
creation is going to begin between 3 o'clock and 8:30. Now we do the softball game around 5 o'clock. And so after the ball game, we'll get into the hip hop information and the hip hop entertainment. Okay. So the ball game again.
So if weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
Yes.
We're going to claim
just
it.
be out there.
We're going to be out there.
You can be out there all
either
evening.
way, all
afternoon.
Yep. Instead of just the game wrapping up and you go home, we want you to stick around, socialize, and and again, while we're educating our youth, let's learn a little bit about life from their perspective as well.
From their perspective, yeah, because we really do need to talk to them.
Yes, we do.
Not at them.
And also listen.
Yeah.
I have a 16-year-old at home.
Yeah, and in order to get to her, you better listen.
I better listen. That's what I'm learning.
Yes.
And that's, I believe it's so crucial when you're talking about an event like the Juneteenth celebration. Okay. We know it's all deals with the Emancipation Proclamation being signed and being signed at the last minute. It's important to know all that. It's important to be able to figure out that avenue of communication so we first grab their ear so that they'll be willing to listen. So, the Lord has showed us in the committee, if we're willing to listen to them, they're going to be more apt to listen to us.
Duh.
Not a bad idea. So that's what happens on Friday.
Okay.
Saturdays all day. It is from 11 o'clock till dusk.
Okay.
We've got, of course, live entertainment. We're kicking off, of course, with gospel entertainment in the early part of the day. We'll have exhibits, health fair information, food, of course. We got the food vendors coming back. So anyone on the west side is going to be able to smell the Juneteenth celebration starting around noon when the girls get fired up.
Okay.
So that's going to be an easy way to draw. And the exciting thing about Lansing, I mean, we've got so much talent that either here or come from here. So this is a year we're focusing on local talent.
Okay. Wonderful.
We have Oric Ewing and his group. Incredible music, funk, hip hop, a little R&B, and then we're closing the evening out with the sax man.
Hey,
That's all I
my
have to say.
buddy.
Tim Cunningham.
Tim Cunningham.
He was with us a couple of years back, and it was such an awesome show.
Yeah.
And he does such a great job that it would behoove us, of course, to bring him back because he's a natural draw.
He
and again,
is.
we're able to embed history, our own local history, in the making. It's wonderful to be excited about Black history in February. It's exciting to talk about our history in June, but there's history in the making in and out of Lansing on a regular basis. So let's support the history being made by our own local Tim Cunningham and Oric Ewing as far as the music. And of course, we've got some other local musicians as well, some great gospel musicians, some people coming out of Chicago. So we do have, you know, the sound of the big city, and we're known for being a venue that is a great stepping stone for some of the artists. So we love the opportunity to showcase new artists as well.
All right. Let me see.
Okay.
Can we sing, Prince? What we gonna
we
sing?
know, we know Prince, and I know you can sing. I saw you up there with your old Nelson singing. So, on that note, since you opened that door, we'll talk about that for next year.
Well, now, let's see. Let me get back to the question.
You see what happens? When you interview a reporter, that's what happens. I listen.
You listen, okay. So Juneteenth embodies the hope of a better life that freedom brings to oneself, their children, which is a dream everyone has. And this was a quote by one of your co-chairs. This celebration is to bring awareness of the last freed slaves of the nation, marking the end of slavery. Can you tell us a little about that history in Galveston, Texas?
Well, as I understand it, it's amazing. But if you think about it, information didn't travel like it travels now.
Oh, we're in the information age, aren't we?
And in that era, I mean, you know, they happened to be the only city, as I understand, in the entire Union at that time that didn't know. And when word came out on that 19th of June that slavery is over, that not only was it signed and official that everybody else was free, now you free. I mean, can you imagine? Celebration began, and that's what we're really focusing on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to get caught up in a lot of the negativity and to be angry, but when you realize that your whole world changed with just that bit of information, and you had the opportunity, everything changed.
Wow.
And so you spend the day thanking God and celebrating. And that's what we want to focus in on, the celebration. We have a lot to be thankful for. And it's, you know, for me, it's been a personal joy because I know the impact it had on my life just when I sit back and think of where we've come from.
Okay.
See, my mom's from down south. My dad's from up north.
Okay.
And in our household, I mean, we were taught to look at things a different way because we didn't experience and not having to get in the back of the bus. We didn't experience the white onlys. It was the economic, yet still it was still something to be delivered from. Yet my mom had a whole different perspective, so she had a different drive. But I just thank God that we looked at it, and she took it. She could have taken it the wrong way, where she could have been that angry for the South. Where she was more into, let's look at the positive. Let's look at all the opportunities you have. Let's embrace nothing but the positive.
Right.
And that's what I think the real focus on the Juneteenth is, that not, we're not taking away from Black History Month. We're advancing the excitement of what happened in June, where that freedom, it's more than just the emancipation. We're moving past that into the empowerment phase. And that's what we're going to focus on, empowering our children with an understanding of, reach back and grasp that.
Knowledge.
The
knowledge of that.
The knowledge of that. And remember, to keep that drive going, why we have the opportunities we have. So don't let them slip through your fingers. A little different attitude. They don't want to just drive in the fact that, whether we were slaves or slaves. No, we've gone past that. But these people didn't have the opportunities we have today.
Right.
So you need to know what happened so you can appreciate why you should be motivated today.
Why you should be motivated today.
That makes sense?
Because we had such a hard time.
Back in the day. And it wasn't that long ago. So, come on, that wasn't that long ago. And we still have some issues today.
We've got issues,
yes,
but
we do.
We must rise above
Absolutely.
those.
With the right attitude.
With the right attitude and with a little education,
Absolutely. Absolutely. But when you know why you are celebrating, it has a whole different perspective. I'm not celebrating the fact that I don't have the chains on. The physical change.
Physical.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm celebrating the fact that there is equal opportunity, a better day. My parents and the generations before suffered, and we're not going to let them suffer for nothing.
Right.
Don't let them suffer for nothing.
Don't let all that suffering be in vain.
Because
they suffered, and so many people died.
Yes.
Just to give us that opportunity.
Opportunity to read.
Yes.
Opportunity to go to the library. Opportunity to gather information. I mean, if you got those digital phones, you got all that, use it to gather some information that can take you to the next level and then bless somebody else.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing with the Juneteenth celebration.
So you kind of touched on it, but what would you say to any skeptic who does say that this day was a day of, it's more a day of shame because we were keeping in the same frame of mind that we're slow and unintelligent.
It's
and
that's a good one.
And there are a few people out
yeah,
there.
and those are the ones. But I have to believe, Dita, those are the ones that are going to look at that glass and say it's half empty. Okay, and I'm still a believer that the old adage that you can kill more bees with honey than with something negative. I mean, it still exists. So I'd say to any skeptic out there that, the reality is proper information changes everything.
Okay.
And the proper information is that you look at the positive in order to expect a positive. You can never get a positive from a negative. So in the midst of all adversity.
Two wrongs never make a right.
Here's something I heard as a kid that stuck with me. In the midst of all adversity lies the seed of a greater benefit for those with a positive mental attitude. And our pastor used to say,
attitude is more than fact.
Fact of the matter is, right now, our attitude, and we come around also the Juneteenth, you're going to feel the joy and the excitement and the celebration, and knowing that we understand what we're celebrating about. It's going to be very difficult for you to pull anything negative out of the gathering.
All right.
Because there's so much positive going on, and we'll just overshadow it. And that's our whole approach. We are celebration. That's why we call it the Lansing Juneteenth celebration, not necessarily just a festival. It is a day or 2 or 3 days that build up to the ultimate celebration. That Thursday we get to reunite with the lawmakers and say thanks again for the support that helped it become a state holiday. Friday we begin flashing back and remembering the joy of real old-fashioned baseball and softball. That was all about a family outing.
Yes, it was.
I mean, come on, everyone can admit
Having
it's
fun.
the American pastime, but it's, when you think about an old softball game, everybody tried to play. I mean, but everybody would come out, and it automatically meant
cheer
picnic
on
basket.
their-
Automatically meant picnic basket. Coming out and cheer on, and sitting in fans, and sitting in seats to cheer on a group of people just having fun. So we get to flash back with that on Friday, and then learn a little bit about hip hop at the same time. So I'm looking forward to this year's Friday celebration because I can anticipate a park full of generations.
Okay.
Think about it. We're going to do the reenactment, and we have some of our elders that are going to be there. Some key officials will be there, and that's going to bring out the family. But we get the opportunity to, after you're done playing and watching the softball game, you get to hear some information from the young kids.
Yeah.
So automatically we're going to be together. That's a wonderful thing. And then we all come back on Saturday and have a day filled with a variety of music, from gospel to jazz to hip hop to R&B. You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
And again, health.
What day does this start?
We start on Thursday the 13th, City Hall, Friday the 14th, St. Joe Park, and Saturday the 15th at St. Joe Park. So
13th through the 15th.
13th through the 15th.
All right.
Remembering also now, we've had so much support from some local businesses, and we've got a lot of great health information so that we can, again, get rid of some of the negative things in our history, that those with ethnicity, high blood pressure, things that we don't talk about. So we'll have some blood pressure checking going out for free.
Okay.
We're going to have some free health tips, some information from, I believe, the Greater Lansing African American Healthcare Fair Institute will be there. I mean, both of the major hospitals.
Okay.
Both of them jump on the bandwagon this year.
That's
which
wonderful.
we think is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
It is.
So we'll have some information, some educational information, local businesses, some, of course, ethnic exhibits. So it'll be a great opportunity again to come out, mingle in the park, have some great food, fun.
Great food.
Fun, activities for the children. So it's an activity for everybody in your household.
Okay.
So we're hoping that the entire city can come on out.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for being here
Oh,
and sharing
dear.
that about this celebration.
Wonderful.
And hopefully you're going to get more and more positive involvement.
Yes.
And is that an anticipation for you?
Oh, I see it happening. I mean, one thing I've got to admit, I mean, I'm blessed to say that I'm third generation here in Lansing.
Okay.
And I don't really remember an awful lot of racism in the city. We've always been multicultural. So the cooperation that we've received in the support of Juneteenth is wonderful. And that's what I do love. And I think that's a great advantage and a big plus to say for the capital city of Michigan.
All right.
So let's just hope it continues to be that way.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong now. We know that the devil's busy.
All the time.
Been here. He ain't happy. So not saying that we don't have some issues of some sort.
Right.
But could have been worse. So I love Lansing,
All
as you
right.
can tell.
Okay. Plan on living here, huh?
I'll plan on staying around here. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I got one 33-year-old and 16, and they both seem to be happy.
Okay.
When the 16-year-old goes to college,
Uh-oh.
I'll try to stay here.
Well, thanks so much for being here
geez,
with me.
always a pleasure. Thank
All
you for
right.
inviting me.
All right.
All right.
All
God
right.
bless.
And thank you out there for being here with us. Don't forget the 13th through the 15th of June, Juneteenth at St. Joe Park. Be proud, be productive, and by all means,
Be blessed.
be blessed.
Tune in next week for more messages of blessings and inspiration. Guests sharing life and education. Words of powerful motivation. And editorials for deep contemplation. Until then,